March 1st. I have a cold. I'm very sniffy. I did just blow my nose, so hopefully there won't be too much sniffing in this episode, but also it's going to be quite short because I have only been working on one project this month. This is my February updates knit vlog. Hello, my name is Jessica. Welcome if you're new. Hello if you are not new. My January podcast episode was chocker, full of so many whips. But I feel like what I wanted was a project that I could just focus on and work on till the end. Now, I had optimistically hoped that I could be here wearing a new jumper by the end of February, but February's a short month and I've been sick for like the last 2 weeks, just with like winter bug, gross, and just didn't happen that way. So yeah, this is my jumper. She's really pretty. It's the Sew Sweater by Anna Strandberg. I'm gonna just double check that. It is the Sew Sweater by Anna Strandberg from the winter 2023 issue of Learner magazine. This is the magazine. I bought this originally so that I could make the vest with the cables, cameo vest. The cameo vest is from this issue of Lana magazine, and I wanted to make it and it didn't exist. This is the cameo vest as a solo pattern, so I bought the magazine. And I'm trying to use more patterns that I already own. So this, I was looking through and I liked this one. I wanted like a simple jumper. I made a kind of simple-ish yoked sweater in red with like green pattern on it. December, in like November. I finished it at the end of November, early December, as like a Christmas jumper, and I wore it almost every day, like just a kind of cropped-ish yoke jumper. It just was like the perfect layering piece, and so I wanted something that was, and it had a little bit of a high neck, which I love. I wanted something that was like that, but that wasn't Christmas themed. So I saw this pattern, which I don't know how well you can see that. It's a pretty simple sweater with cable. By simple, I guess I mean it's like mainly stockinette, or like reverse stockinette with this one cable down the side. And I'm knitting it in yarn that I picked up at work, which is the Jacob's fleece. No, it's not. Oh, I think it is. It's the West Yorkshire Spinners. I always get them mixed up because there's one that is BFL and there's one that is presumably Jacob's. This is the BFL one. That's really hot. Oh my goodness, excuse the like, this is real life, the mess of the chair behind me. And I don't have any of the ball bands, so hold you. Be right back. So I'm making this in yarn that I picked up from work. It's West Yorkshire Spinners, BFL, fleece, 100% British wool. This is the little tag. It's a DK weight. You get 225 meters in 100 grams, and it comes in 3 colors, in like a cream. Well, we stock 3 colorways. It may come in more colorways, but we have 3. There's a cream, a slightly like lighter brown, and then this was the one that I chose, this brown. They're all natural colors, and yeah, I just wanted something like pretty plain, sturdy, soft, but like not too drapey. I don't like too drapey. I want a little bit of structure in the things that I'm making, so that's what we were going for here. I originally was gonna get the cream. I like brought down 6 stains of the cream and was like gonna take these, but then it just wasn't quite the right shade of cream. It was like a bit too white and I just wasn't into it, and I went on my gut and I picked the brown, which as I was knitting it, I was like, oh, I don't know. But then now I've tried it on. I'm very pro the brown. So it's got about 1 million, this is my little cable needle. Got about 1 million needles in it. But this is how far I have got on this. I think it's being exposed pretty well. I've done one sleeve. I believe this is the front. The neck has some very interesting shaping, which I enjoyed doing. This is all going to be a bit all over the place. Sorry, I'm still in like illness brain. I keep trying to say numbers and the wrong number is coming out of my mouth. It's just, yeah, is what it is. But yes, I do a tubular bind on, big love. It was the first time I'd done a tubular bind on with a like provisional cast on. I'd done it before where you just like cast straight on and do it. I think I followed the like Andrew Mowry tutorial, which doesn't use a provisional bind on, but this one did, and it was very scary just like snipping it out, because I'm used to doing a provisional cast on when you snip it out and then there's loose stitches and you pick them up, and I was like looking through the pattern being like, when do you pick them up, what do you do with it? But you literally just snip it out and then you've got this like clean edge and it's all fine and nothing falls out. So that was scary but fine in the end. But yeah, there's a little bit of short row shaping, and I believe this is the back and this is the front, because there's my start of round marker is here. So that's the way that I believe it is. You do kind of saddle-ish type shaping. I don't want to give too much away, but it's kind of not your basic raglan. It's also not a yoked sweater, even though I said the one that the yoked sweater was the one that I was wearing, that was the Christmas one that I wanted to kind of recreate the concept of. But basically this is just a crop jumper. It's just a crop jumper. It's all just jumpers. They're all just different jumpers. Anyway, it has a cable down the side. It's a very nice cable. It's pretty easy to like get to grips with. I did not get to the point of memorizing it, which would have been nice, but like this middle bit was fine, but then this little crossovery bit, I did just need to always have the pattern there just in case. And so I guess for that reason, when you're knitting on the top part, and then also the cable kind of goes down into the sleeve, down one sleeve, you need to be aware of doing that, so it's not a completely mindless knit. Whereas once I've done the other sleeve, and then I've still got the body on like holders, that will be slightly more mindless, because you've not got the cable anymore, although it does have a split hem, so that's something that we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Yes, I was trying to knit this using the concept of, I think it's Jacqueline Cieslak did a reel recently about like, this is the order that I knit my top down sweaters in, no matter what the pattern says. So I was trying to follow, like, i.e. to do it that way to get best fit. So I was following that sort of thing. I'll link the reel down below, but basically the idea is that you make this top part, you kind of knit to the sleeves, then you steam block it, or block it, steam blocked it, and try it on. Then make the sleeves so that when you're knitting the sleeve, you've already steam blocked this section, so you know kind of how it's gonna sit. It's not gonna like get loads longer. And then do the same, and then do the rest of the body. So that's what I'm doing. I have done the sleeve quite a few times. I've reknit the sleeve a few times, just from kind of here down. It's got this really long ribbed cuff. I've still not actually cast it off because I'm not 100% if this is the right sleeve length. I'm gonna knit the other one and then see if I like it with them both on. I think this is the right sleeve length, but I'm not completely sold, so I've not done the tubular bind off because it's kind of a nightmare to unpick. So I've just left myself like a big tail. Yeah, so it's quite, I was knitting it, the sleeve, as if there was going to be like a kind of standard size cuff, and then I realised that there wasn't, and I'd knit kind of almost to here sort of thing, and I was like, oh, that was a bit long, so then I had to rip back and do it again. I think I did it again a third time, but I can't really remember why. I will try the jumper on now and then talk about the sleeve length once it's on. Okay, so this is the jumper on. It's about this length, and then the sleeve is about bracelet length as it stands, which is kind of generally where I like my sleeves to be. I don't like, I could pull it down if I wanted to, if I was feeling like I needed a cozy vibe, but generally it's about here. The pattern also said that you should make it a little bit longer because it will kind of balloon around this, which in the pattern picture it does, but with this yarn it's not really doing that because it just, I don't know, it just isn't. It's kind of more just like a straight down sleeve. Potentially if I had knit. Also the tricky thing with the sleeve length is that because of the pattern, you have to knit like a whole extra cable, so you've not got, I couldn't like add a 1/2 inch or like an inch. I have to add the kind of full roughly 2-inch pattern repeat. So I could make it a little bit longer if I wanted like more of a puff, but I think this is what I've landed on, but I'm gonna knit the other one and then see what it's like with them both on. So plan is to knit the second sleeve and then go back and knit the body, and I'm hopeful that I'll finish it before March, but we'll see. Let me just remove the jumper. It's very warm. BFL is a warm fibre. I don't think I've knit with 100% BFL before. I've knit with stuff that like has a bit of BFL content, but it's a really nice yarn. It's very soft. Like, I think some people potentially could interpret it as itchy, but for me, I think it's just on the right side that I can like wear it next to skin without worrying too much. So I'm hoping this will be like a nice spring wear instead of a coat sort of jumper vibes. Yeah, I also realised that I think I just put it on backwards because this is my front marker, but you know what, it's a small difference. It was fine. It did enough to, you know, show you what was going on. Anyway, this is the jumper that I'm knitting at the moment. That's all I'm doing. I genuinely have not picked up any of the projects that like if I showed you any of the projects that I was working on in January, there would be literally no progress. Like, I do think they are potentially exactly where I put them down after filming the podcast. And some months are like that. I guess that's why I'm doing these monthly updates, because it's kind of interesting, at least for me, to see that sometimes there's like a lot of progress, and then sometimes it's just hyperfixation on one jumper that I haven't finished yet. So that's what's going on. And this is my tea, and I'm gonna have a little bit of a sip, so turn your volume down if you hate hearing sips. Yeah, I'm gonna go spend the rest of my day off doing some chill errands and lots of bits and pieces, and that's it. That's all I have to say. This is like a 10-minute episode, but thanks for hanging with me, and I'll see you in March. Hope you're all having a good Feb. Hope you had a good leap day. Did anyone do anything super exciting on leap day? Let me know. I went to the theatre with a friend and it was great. Had a really good mocktail. Shout out. Shout out to this friend who really wants to be featured in the podcast. So your time is coming. This is dropping your feature in the podcast. Yeah, all right, I'm gonna go. I'll see you all in March. Goodbye.